Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices in terms of Elliott Wave and trading levels, and starting with the DAX here on the daily chart. We're looking at the DAX in terms of this particular triangle pattern here, and with that here we can look at this current move here as the wave C over here for wave D here. I'll just remove these here. But there's also a bullish count too that we need to take on board, and we've been talking about that, and we'll continue to talk about that as well. So in this instance here, we'll get a 5 little wave structure up here for wave C, and then wave E coming into place here and then moving up. But in terms of a bullish market, we've go back to our old count here as wave 1 up here and wave 2 sitting here. Okay, so that the change in this instance here would make all of this bullish here, and would continue to move up here. There would be some resistance at the 12.8 and some at the 13,000 here, of course, but once support is found on the 13,000, then it's up from that point there. So we need to track both of these counts as we have been doing, so I'll just save those here, and then we'll work our way in here, and there'll be various counts within all of this, but we just need to work through them. So in terms of the triangle count here, we can look at this as wave A here, wave B here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. The 12,800 is the 61.8% retracement level from this high to this low here. So obviously it's the supply level too, so we're going to see that play out there. But it appears we've got wave 1 sitting in here, and wave 2 sitting here, and wave 3 to move up here a little bit further in here before we get wave 4 and wave 5 to play out through here. So I'll just save that and then move in here. Now we've had sort of various counts on this, and one of the internally here, because it was basically working out which is the low within these three here, and they all offer a pretty good scenario for this. But in the bullish count we would have this one here as the low. But let's just continue to work in. Well, I'll just skip straight to the hourly chart here. So the hourly chart here is the more bullish count, and we've had this here as wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and down for wave 5, even though it's got a truncated fifth low here compared to this one here. It's just the best fit for this. And then looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, as you know, then we're looking for the pullback for wave 2. And then we talked about, well, if we've got 12,500 here in regards to the trading levels, well then, and we got that as a tested support, well then we need to look for long trade. So we looked at being long above this little high here. We would have looked to be short only if the 500 was the retested resistance, because we need to be on the right side at the right time, and the closest largest number helps with that. So that's what we do. So you should be long above the 12,500, at least be looking for long trades. So the move up here so far, we could probably take this here, copy this, put wave 1 in here, wave 2 in here, wave 3 would be in here because it would be getting a bit, you can see that it's getting a bit running out of steam there a little bit, and then wave 5 of 3 here. And then we can look for, once that high comes in, then we can look for the 38.2% retracement level. So I'll just put that there, but we'll look for an A and a B and a C wave back to the 38 point, and then another 5 waves up into this space here. We can look at that. Once we've got that high in there, we can look at that, but basically we'll be looking at a little A wave in here, B wave in here, and C wave in here. Something like that here for that move to move there. So in terms of being long in here, we could probably put that stop in around here for the time being. Let me just have a look at that a bit closer. We'll get a fix on that. So first of all, there's 12,700 here. This move here is a wave 4, and it's corrected. That was the wave 4 that I was looking for, I'd imagine. So if I can just put that here, and then we can look for wave 5 to take us up into this space here. This is another wave 4 here, same patterns. So okay, so bear with me while I get things. Wave 1 here, ABC for wave 2 here. Close that off. Wave 3 here. And wave 5. I'll just put it up here, but there will be other resistances there as well. So for the stop, if that's wave 3, so we take that here, may come, we need to find that. We can't put the stop in yet because it'll just be, we wouldn't get it right. So this market's either going to move up to the 12,800 or it's going to come into group 2 here. So on the side over here, 12,780, 12,772 in here. I'll just put that in there. But that's so when this market pulls back, it can pull back as, copy that there and put that there as wave 4. We need to put that into green. I am working on a Elliott Wave book at the moment and an Elliott Wave course. We're building a new education site for Trading Lounge. I'm getting there. The book's done. I've just got to do the graphics and the working on the actual course now. All the content's done, just doing the graphics for that too, so I'll let you know when that's done. But so it can pull back to the 38.2% here, or the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, which would be this one over here. So really any stop at the moment really needs to just be out of the way here, you know, protect a bit of profit, you know. I mean, it's just the wider the risk, the better the potential, so to speak. But I think taking a balanced view on everything is the way to go. Balance, balance, balance. The yin-yang of everything. Okay, so that should keep us out of trouble. And that's the 12,650 here, which is the halfway mark between the 8 at 800 and the 500. So that's really significant. So we'll keep the stop under that. We'll remove this. Just wait for that to save. Delete that. The other way to look for the upside here, of course, so there'll be group 2 in here. Group 2 will be 80, 72 in here. You can work that out, and 65 in here. Then we've got the midpoint here, 50. So this is the other resistance. That it could even finish here actually at the 50. The other way to look at this too is grab this here, take this top here, that low here, and there'll be 2 targets to the upside. One is the 61.8% and the other one is the 261 here. So both of those are valid, but in terms of trading, we'll trade to this one first, but if you wanted to take profit, we'll then trade to this number here. And in fact, sometimes you don't need to actually get to the 50, the 48, the 8 in front of the 50 is also another number to take, because there'll be profit taking at the 48, for sure. The other point here too, of course, is that, sorry to ramble on, but while we're sort of dealing with things here, from 2700, we've got 20, 10, 20, and we've got and 30, so just So if I can just move this to here. So if you wanted to get into this, then this looks like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and coming into 5 here, then there'll be an ABC here, and then back on. So getting support on top of number 3 here, of subgroup 1, will get you to 50. That's a way you could do a little trade within that space there. Okay, moving on to the Netherlands, the AEX here. So we're covering 2 counts here to line up with the DAX, and one of them is that wave 3 here, an A wave and a B wave, and a C, a D, and an E here for wave 4, a bit complicated. The other count here is that wave 4 is already in place here, and I'll just bring that on blue here, and then this would lead this up as wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then up for 1 and back for 2, and then this would keep going here. So in this instance here, once this market finds support within group 2, which would be 65, 72 and 80, or 65, a nice tested support within that would pretty much start to do the trick that that wave 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3, and continuing to the upside here would be the course of action here. So on the 4-hour chart here, covering both counts, so from this low here, which can be wave 2 here, or wave C, so we've got wave 1 up here, wave 2 here, wave 1 and 2 and 3, but we also got C. So let's just give this some time, but certainly play to the long side here at this particular stage here, and let's see if we get support here. There's going to be, this trend line is going to offer resistance, and the 565, the beginning of subgroup 2, is also going to play out here, but support on top of this level here, the 565, that really puts this number 3 here in dominance position here over the wave D of a corrective move. The FTSE, I still don't have an answer for you on this one here. I'm going to have to just stay with this a little while longer. We've got time. The important thing here, as I mentioned last time, is we've got 800 here, the minor levels, and then 500. So the Fibonacci numbers of 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. So 5 and 8 here, and right in the middle here is the 7650, the halfway mark here. So that's really important. We're trying to find out if that's going to become the support or the resistance. So over here it was the support, then it became the resistance here, and then it's been trying to get back above here, but it's never really actually found it as tested support or tested resistance so far. And it's going to be a little while for that as well. So if this moves up through here, this can be an A and a B and a C and fail from here and come back down, okay? But there's also the possibility that it can turn into 5 waves, which would be 1 and 2 and 3, and then back for 4 here and up for 5. So even if we get 5 here, it's still going to come back as a corrective move. So we would have to take this line here and put it on top of that one. So that's what I'll do now. I need to put it on top of, we're going to go along on top of that one, but now we need to put it on top of that one there. So we need for that to play out here. And then once that comes back here as a corrective pattern, then we could possibly move in. But I don't, this here still reminds me of being corrective as an A and a B and a C for the A wave, now an A and a B and a C for the B wave, and then up the C wave here. But this move here coming down here actually counts in 3 waves. So it's possible to have this. Let me just check on the cash market here for a second. Just got to check on one little aspect to see if this low here is actually, yeah, on the cash market it comes down as 5 waves, and it's actually lower than this one here. So it can be counted the way that I have it as an A and a B and a C here, but it still doesn't give me 5 waves up here. So the whole thing still looks corrective to me. So we need to be careful. But if we get a nice support, if we get 5 waves up here, right, and if we get the 5 waves up here, and then it can be bearish and come all the way down from that point down into this space here that we're looking at for wave 2. So it's just really messy. So yeah, I still need much more time here for this, so we'll just have to wait, unfortunately. Right. Italia. So we were just playing with the intraday here, and that's fine. So we're looking at. We don't know if this is the low here just yet, because we've got from wave 4, we've got 5 waves down here. I can count to 5. That's good. That's good news. So that's fine. But I don't know if all these 5 waves here just make wave 1, and then we come back for wave 2. Let me just grab this here for a moment. Okay, so the 61.8% retracement level is here, and if we get support on 22 here, that means we get support on top of the 61.8%, the golden mean, the golden ratio. So that would put it in a bullish light from that point. So I'll just delete that. So what we were waiting for here, we mentioned that this would come down in ABC. It has done, but the extension wasn't in the C wave here. It was in the first wave here. So in reality, this here would have been brought from that high to that high here and triggered the long trade here. So yeah, just be mindful of that. But at the same time here, if I can just clean these up here a little bit. Clean some of this up. I've got too many objects on the whole platform here now, and that's what that's telling me, so we don't need a lot of this here. So I'm just going to clean things up a little bit. So this move up through here, we can still be patient here, because this is wave 1 and 2 here, and then we go up for wave 3. There'll be a wave 4 here, and then there'll be a wave 5. It's the same pattern as this one here, except in this instance here, the wave 3 here didn't stop here. It's just moved up a little bit higher here. So it will be like this here, something of this nature here. And then this means that this trigger that we're going to go long on here needs to be a little bit higher at the 22 here. So 22,200. So we'll still need that, and then we can also bring that down to here as well to get the long trade. So what we're actually looking for here is we're looking for a bigger trend than actually we can see on this chart here. And to get into that particular trend, we can this would be the place to get into, because if this was going to fail, this would be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up to here, and then fail. If it takes the top of this wave 1 out here, then we know that it's bullish from that point. Okay, that's one thing that we know, which would be fantastic. And then we can label this, well, we can just label this now anyway. We can label this here 1. This is the likely story anyway, but I still need to gather the evidence of this, and then we'll build up for wave 3 over here. But we still need to get this wave 1 here coming. This will be wave 1 of a smaller degree here. So like the FTSE, we're not here yet. Okay, so we still have to wait. We're basically waiting for the 22,000 to become support, and it tried to move up here, drop back, and this is the whole thing over here. Could arrival reaction, first high above the level, drop down, can't find support, wouldn't do that on the first one anyway, down, comes back up, tests it, gets hit again by the supply. These are supply, which means supply means sellers here. They will be wanting to get out of their positions, drop back down, and then moving up here. So we're getting close now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to here, an ABC correction back, and then testing on here, and then moving up from that point, and then we can get all our triggers in place. We got this one here. If you're into this one, that's fine. Unfortunately, you'll need to, if I can just change the color on this one here, you'll just need to keep the stop out of the way. So the stop will need to go in here, so needs to go here, but you can have it higher here. So what you could do, once this gets up to the 22 here, you could take some profit here, right? Maybe take 50% profit or 70 or 80% profit, leave a little bit of skin in the game. When it comes back here again, keep the stop here, take 80, 70, 80% here. And then when it comes back here again, we could build in again. And it's fine to take the whole lot here as well. But if I'm wrong at some point and the market does continue to go up, then I would be looking to go long on the 22,300. This is group 1 here, and if we get tested support on this number, then the market will be pulled up to number 5 here. So if for whatever reasons happen, if this becomes the support here, the 300 becomes the support, then we need to be going long from that point, and we will do from this point, but we need to get support up there. So it will still have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then a corrective move back to the 200, and then move up. So we will be long on that point up there. Don't worry about that, but let's just see how this pans out. So this is likely to hit this number here, go a little bit higher here, pull back, and then go up to this point here, and then drop down again. Look for that 5-wave structure. So yeah, if you're long, that's fantastic. But stop's got to be here, taking some profit here. We'll wait for the pullback, and then we'll move in again over here. And if I'm wrong and the market just keeps continuing to drift up here, then if the 300 becomes support, well, then we'll go in long from that point, and then we'll continue to build up from that point. And we'll also look to, we know that there will be resistance at the 500, but we'll hold through that, and we'll look to add again on top of that 500. Alrighty, thanks for listening and tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.